the infrastructure.
And I'm Mary Jo Boyd, a legal technologist. Attorneys love to see all the time they put in for a day. They want to go back and make sure they got everything in. They want to see how many hours they've worked. They just want to make sure they've got everything for the day. Mm-hmm. And tabs gives us a very good way to do that.
Yeah, but the administrators, they don't really want the attorneys in tabs.
That's true. But you know, PracticeMaster now offers a lot of that same functionality.
Is that new? Can you show us?
I can.
Okay.
So in PracticeMaster, we now have a couple of new features. Whoa, try that again. Flash screen. Okay. So in PracticeMaster, we now have a few new features in the fee window and also in our reporting capabilities so that attorneys can really see what's been going on for a day, a week, a month, whenever that is that they want to look at that. So the first thing that I want to do is go into a fee record, like we're going to add one. So I'm just going to go out to the client, to fee, and just show you some of the new things that we have here. So we do now have the rate that automatically will show for each matter. So before, this rate would stay 0, and when you would save the entry, then it would populate that rate and calculate the amount. Now, if I just go through and put in 1 hour and tab, it will pick up that rate automatically from tabs. So that's a huge benefit there, so they can actually see that the rate is there and they're not trying to type it in manually and overriding a rate. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you. The next thing is we now have a fee recap report right up here on our toolbar. So that's just right here. So if they want to quickly just see a fee recap for a certain day, this is just like the one in tabs where they can choose a timekeeper and then they can pick a day and they can see all of the hours that make up billable or non-billable time that they've entered for that day. Then if they want to drill down and completely see what that time consists of, all they need to do is hit the view button and then they have all of the list of the clients and what they've worked and their descriptions so that they can quickly look through and make sure that they've entered everything for that particular day. Now, this one they can only do one day at a time, and this list is not a printable list, it's just a viewable list. So if they go through and they see that they have 0, they'd at least be able to, at a quick glance, go, oh, I haven't put my time in for the 18th, or I've only put so much time in on the 17th, and so on. So this is a good report for a quick recap and just to kind of view, maybe make some modifications if they maybe spelled something incorrectly and they need to get into that entry. This does have the drill down capability to do so, and they can get right into that entry and correct whatever it is that they need to correct. A couple of other reports that they've added in version 18. We're going to go back out here to our Reports tab and then to Report Writer. So in Report Writer, we have 4 new reports that they've put out here for us. We have the Detail Fee Recap, we have the Fee Recap by hour, then we have the Fee Hours for the week, and then we also have a Fee Report down here. So we're going to go into each one of these just to take a look at what they look like. So for the first one, we've got our Detail Fee Recap. So I'm just going to double click on that. You are able to pick this if you just wanted to see it for a certain client or matter, or you can do it for a certain timekeeper, or you can do it for a date range, or all of these things. You can pick whatever criteria it is that you want. So I'm just going to leave this open. I'll have this is test data, so I'm not exactly sure sometimes what's out here. But we'll just say that we want this 10th through the 17th of 2014 for all timekeepers. And we'll print that. Give it a little preview. And so for our first timekeeper, Michael Larson, each day is going to be highlighted over here on the left with however much of the time that they have worked and the total amount and description and what matter it is for. And this is going to go through each day. So we have Wednesday and Friday, and then we come back in here for Monday the 17th, and there's all the time that was entered there. And so we have that total there, and I'm going to get to the bottom. And this will total up the amount. So this report is totaling just the amount or the value of the time that they've worked. And it will give us that grand total at the bottom. Now, with any report in PracticeMaster, all of these things could be modified. But in this case, out of the box, this is what it's showing you is the total amount that was billed that day. Now, I did run this for all timekeepers, so then it's just starting for the next timekeeper. And it, again, we'll go through that and We have all the time for those days and her total and so on for Ron and for whoever. So that is the detail fee recap. Now we're going to go into the fee, the billable, non-billable hours recap. Again, we're going to go ahead and print that. I'm going to do the same range, and we'll print this one and preview. So for this one, we're getting the same kind of information, but now it's splitting up those hours into billable hours and non-billable hours. Still getting the amount, still getting the client and the description, still broken out by day, all of the same thing, but now we're splitting this out into billable and non-billable. So we can see out here on Paula, she's got some non-billable time here as well. And again, it's totaling up on this one, the total number of billable hours, non-billable hours, and the amount. So now we don't just get the amount, we get the split, and we know exactly how many billable hours and how many non-billable hours that she has. Same thing with any of these others. It's going to go ahead and total the hours and the amount here. So let's close that one. That was the billable, non-billable hours recap. The next one is the total worked hours for the week. So let's print this one. And again, we can select our timekeeper and the report date. We're going to go ahead and print this. And this one is going to give us a weekly total, and it will be for whatever timekeeper we select. Now in this one, we choose one timekeeper. It's not a range. And we have Monday's hours is 64.80. Now I don't have that drill down capability here. This is just giving me the total hours by day for Michael Larson for that particular week. And it's the current week. You'll notice that over here, I do have a report date. If I change that report date, I'm going to go back to the 10th, and print that, preview. This is giving me the week of the 10th. So whatever that report date is, it's going to give you that week. Okay, so let's close that, turn it back to the 17th. Now I'm going back to the week of the 17th, and we're going to go ahead and print that and preview. And now I'm seeing the week of the 17th. So a little bit more limited on what I can do. I can't do a range. I'm just doing one timekeeper, and I'm doing a week, and then I could do a client if I wanted to, and then printing that. So that one was the total hours worked for the week. Lastly, we just have the fee report. We're going to go ahead and print this one. This one is just client-based, so just matter client-based. I'm going to go ahead and print this and preview this one. And now we've got client ID, and then we've got the date and a description. This is very basic report here. It's not giving us much out here at all, just a basic fee report. So by date and by client and the description. This kind of would remind you of a transaction file list, possibly. Now I could have restricted this to just one matter. So if I just needed all of the time out there for a matter, I could just have chosen one client or one client matter or a range for the client and gotten all of that information. So those are the 4 new reports that we have out here in PracticeMaster, and it's just a better way to keep attorneys over here rather than have to go out into tabs and poke around over there. So there you have it, an easy way for the attorneys to stay in PracticeMaster and still get all the information they need.
And that's just one more way that we can help you to worry less
and practice more.